We're coming to you from the CoinDesk podcast studio presented by BitGo. Founded in 2013 with the first institutional-grade Bitcoin wallet, BitGo is the gold standard in custody, staking, and settlement. Today, BitGo supports over 800 coins and processes 20% of all Bitcoin transactions by value. Check them out at bitgo.com. Let's welcome Visa's head of crypto, Cuy Sheffield, to the show. Welcome.
Great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for sitting there while we did our little puppet show.
That's great.
All right. So we are at Consensus 2024. Talk to us about how your experience has been so far. This is day 2. What have the vibes been like for you?
It's fantastic. I think there's a lot of energy and momentum. We're really excited to see what developers are building and really how much blockchain technology has started to mature and how the infrastructure has improved, and many different payment use cases that we think stablecoins can help enable. And so it's been great to engage with many clients, many companies and partners in the payments ecosystem who are all looking and exploring how blockchain technologies can be used to improve payment flows.
Now, Visa is one of the most important companies for payments of any kind around the world, and you've been there for a while as the head of crypto. I'm wondering, from a couple years ago, how have the conversations changed from then to now internally? Like the ideas you're advocating for, the projects you're pushing, how's it changed over time inside of Visa?
So we've made really steady progress consistently every week for 5 years now. And we actually set up the crypto team in the depths of the bear market, late 2018, early 2019. And so our approach was really taking a long-term view and saying, if Visa cares about any technology that has the potential to improve payments. And so we wanted to take our time, figure out ways that we could use these technologies to support our partners. And we've started to experiment with stablecoins. We started to do a lot of research, a lot of education for our clients. And our goal is to just continue to make consistent, steady progress over the next decade, and we're really excited about the opportunities that particularly stablecoins can enable.
5 years through the bulls and the bears. That was a nice little setup we didn't know we were doing there with our puppets. Internally, has there ever been any pushback? Anyone ever questioning you through the bear market? Like, should we be spending this time and effort building in this industry that seems to be quite volatile?
There hasn't. I think we've been really fortunate to be at a company that has a culture that, really from the beginning, from the early days of Visa and, D-Hawk, going all the way back to the 60s, recognizing that value is going to be digitized. It's going to move over many different networks. And we want to be this single connection point for clients, to move value in many different places, in many different payment flows. And so we recognize that, the prices of crypto assets are volatile. We don't really care about the prices. We care about the underlying technology and the ways that it can be deployed within the payments ecosystem. But it takes time to do that. And you have to do it in a controlled, compliant, safe way. And so we're really here for the long haul and have continued to make steady progress, despite the market cycles.
Now, in a recent Visa research piece, I believe you and your colleagues found that of the multi-trillion-dollar stablecoin market, only a fraction of it is actually being used by real people in the payment sense. I think 149 billion or some number like that, which is a big number, but it is not representative of stablecoin usage as a whole. What do you think it's going to take to increase that number and increase the actual adoption of stablecoins as a proper payment rail?
Yeah, so first, we think one of the unique aspects of stablecoins is the fact that you could see all of the data on-chain. And so we've invested a lot of time and resources in how do we understand on-chain data and understand how stablecoins are being used. And so we partnered with Allium Labs. We put up a dashboard, visaonchainanalytics.com. And it was really this exercise of, we use on-chain data internally. It answers some questions, it opens up many more questions, and we wanted to make that available as a free public tool and resource for our clients, for policymakers, for media. And we started with this adjusted transactions metric, looking to filter out transactions that seem to be initiated by bots or as a part of smart contracts. It's not perfect, so we're not saying it's the end-all be-all, but we think that there's so much opportunity for the industry to really use on-chain data to better understand how people are using stablecoins. And some of the takeaways to us, it's not that stablecoins are being used by consumers to buy their coffee. It's stablecoins are being used for things like large value B2B payments, cross-border, peer-to-peer. And so I think that we're just at the point where we're crossing the chasm from consumers who are already in the crypto space, who are trading crypto on an exchange, using stablecoins, paying other people in crypto, to the infrastructure being there that can enable mainstream consumers, particularly outside the United States and emerging markets, to pay each other, to pay businesses in many of these flows, over blockchain rails. But there's a long way to go. We're excited to figure out how we can partner with existing companies in the payments ecosystem to start to integrate stablecoins in unique ways. And we think it has to be the two together. It's not an either or, traditional payment networks or stablecoins. It's going to be how can they both interact with each other, to improve payments.
Tell us a little bit more about that. What's Visa's role in the future of stablecoins?
Yeah. So we see ourselves as a bridge between stablecoins and blockchain technology and the existing payments ecosystem. One of the things that we've been doing is investing in how we can use stablecoins within some of our core products. For example, when you tap to pay, with a Visa card, it's instantly authorized and you can walk out of the store. But there are a lot of things that have to happen for money to be moved from whoever issued that card, to the merchant's bank on the other side. And so we've started to experiment with stablecoins like USDC running over blockchains like Solana to give options for our clients to settle with us, over a blockchain. So we can receive stablecoins, to an account that we have with Circle. We can then convert them, to pay out in fiat to merchant acquirers. And so I think we've got, such a large, diverse network of traditional financial institutions, fintechs, crypto companies. We're trying to figure out how can Visa be a bridge that not all those companies are going to adopt stablecoins and blockchains at the same time. Let's meet them where they are. If they want to use stablecoins, great, we can support that. They operate in traditional fiat, we'll manage the conversions, back into it. So we're excited to see how we can play that role as a bridge.
And that reminds me, before Consensus, I got my pre-conference haircut, as we all do. My barber only takes cash. I said, oh, it was just about the fees, because so often small businesses don't like credit cards because of the fees. He said, no, it's actually not because of the fees. It's because on Fridays, if I'm getting paid with credit cards, I can't go to the bank and get my money because the banks are closed. So I'm wondering how Visa is thinking about actually helping maybe small businesses even utilize and realize that stablecoins could allow for instant settlement and they could take digital payments and not have to worry about things like the banks being closed on the weekends.
Yeah, so there are a lot of things that we're doing across the company trying to speed up, how quickly we can get money, particularly to small businesses. We've got a product called Visa Direct, where you could do push payouts and be able to have a small business get money directly to their debit card on a weekend. And so we don't think it's only stablecoins. We think stablecoins have potential, and on the back end, behind existing Visa products, could potentially move money faster. But we think there are a lot of ways that the payments ecosystem will continue to evolve and make money be able to get to small businesses faster where they need it.
It sounds like Visa's focus when it comes to crypto is on stablecoins. I have to ask you, back in 2022, I was so excited when I heard that Visa had trademark applications for things like NFTs and metaverse and wallets. What's happening with those? Is there any focus on that? Have those kind of been put to the side while you focus on your stablecoin research, dashboards, and looking at how Visa can work with stablecoins?
So we've continued to follow the NFT ecosystem and the broader creator economy, and we think it's definitely evolved and changed. And I think back when we started experimenting with NFTs, NFTs were really only on blockchains like Ethereum. They were pretty expensive to be able to mint, and there was an ecosystem of fine art that people were collecting. Now I think some of the shifts that we're starting to see are a lot of the use cases for NFTs are things like loyalty. You can now mint NFTs for fractions of pennies. And so we're seeing interesting experiments with things like digital receipts and loyalty programs, where if you hold an NFT, you can get a discount on different purchases. And so, the culture that we have is really trying to learn by doing and, working with clients around proof of concepts. We've got a Visa consulting and analytics business where we have had issuers and merchants come to us and say, how do we incorporate NFTs in a loyalty program? And so we're still absolutely interacting with the ecosystem and experimenting. I think we've just seen many of the use cases for NFTs evolve quite a bit from where they were a few years ago. But broadly, we're still really excited about the creator economy and the role that blockchains could play within it.
Cuy, thanks so much for joining us this morning. We hope you enjoy the rest of the conference.
Thanks for having me. This has been great.
That was Visa's head of crypto, Cuy Sheffield.